So there was obviously Neil, the boyfriend, Simon, the lover.
What she does should be on the NHS, to be honest.
I think she's captured the zeitgeist, you know, it's the thing of the moment.
My obsession is sex. I find sex fascinating, and the more I learn about it, the more I want to know about it, and the more I want to explore, and the more I want to discover, and the more I read about it, and the more it's like we have been allowed to know this tiny fraction of our true sexuality. Tom, can I open the door? And to me, sexuality is spirituality, and the way I access my spiritual self is through my sexual self. And I was like, I want to just fly. I just want to burst out of this limited life that I've been living in and just see how far I can go. I just want everything. I just want to experience everything. At some point, you're going to look for your school shoes, Thomas. No.
Oh, is it?
One is.
Oh.
And the other's there, darling. The other's in the dog bed. So Thomas, it's just you coming back on the bus tonight.
Yes.
If I'm not here, I've gone to fetch Poppy.
Yeah, I
All
love
right?
you.
Okay, love you more, darling. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Oh, milk. Thomas has left his lunch again. He's always leaving his lunch. Never mind. Okay. So, once I get the house to myself, I can brush my teeth, I can do my face, and I love this peace, this quiet, just the chaos, the early chaos of the morning just gives way to just a bit of me time, which I really, really, really need. Okay, so I'm going to get dressed and I'm going to do it with the door shut because although I am an open and empowered woman, I'm not actually going to let you see my cunt.
Camilla is probably best described when we got her drunk in here and outside, because she is very open and she's very, very good at anecdotes about her sort of early fumblings into sort of the beginnings of becoming a sex therapist. But she's very clever because she masks actually quite a deep understanding and ambition almost to be good at this with these funny anecdotes. So when you first meet her, you can quite easily, if you want to, brush her off as just somebody who's having a bit of a laugh, and you know, it's not really a proper profession, and it's just, you know, somebody trying to fill in a bit of time and make a few quid. But it's only when you start to talk to her after the second bottle of red wine that you start to realise that she's actually got some qualifications and she's deadly serious about it, and she's actually got some method to the madness.
It's a bedroom which people associate with sex. They don't associate therapeutic offices with sex. This is where you have sex. You have sex in a bedroom. And I'm dealing with sex. So I guess maybe the first appointment somebody does sitting on my bed, they might find it a bit awkward and a bit weird, but very quickly people just relax into it.
It's not like they're just going around my house, you know, making coffee.
No. And
Like-
obviously they never come into your bedroom.
Yeah.
Ever. Because that really is too dirty.
Also, it's my bedroom.
Yeah. It'd be inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's just this intuitive sense that the best way I serve these couples is by helping the energy move in a beautiful way between them.
I think she's saved a lot of people, a lot of people's marriages, lots of things like that. Because, yeah, when people come to see Camilla, they've just lost the intimacy, the connectivity, and the kind of bedrocks of a relationship.
It's learning to share, and that's going to sound really kooky and weird, but hey, that's what I do. Intimacy, as far as I'm concerned, is all about touch. So the impression that people have of me as a sex coach that's on the bed when couples are physically intimate is that I'm watching somebody, a couple fucking, and yes, occasionally the sessions do go that far, but essentially what I'm about is retraining people from seeing fucking, penetrative sex as sex, and everything else as something that leads towards sex. For me, every single touch, every look, every word, every act of connection and togetherness is part of the act of sex.
Camilla and I have a very adventurous sex life, and I think when we got together, we kind of spurred each other on, and we've grown a lot in that degree. And I don't feel under pressure any at all, because for want of a better way of putting it, I can hold my own as such.
So much more time needs to be spent in worshipping and honouring and just revering her body. There is so much shame and repression and suppression of the feminine and of feminine sexuality. And the more a man can pleasure a woman and just stroke her and worship her, and so my best friend, coconut oil. And I do a lot of work of explaining and demonstrating using coconut oil on both bodies.
I'm not as outgoing sexually as Camilla at all. I haven't actually had sex for 2 years, but nothing she does now shocks me. The first time she did things, I was obviously shocked, but she's so matter of fact, so open, that now it's like, yeah, why not? Do it.
So do you remember that day when you'd come in and you'd set up the ironing board to do the Jack's shirts?
Yeah.
And I came skipping down the stairs.
Yes.
And I said, I'm going to Chawton Woods to have sex.
Yes, yes, yes. I was a little shocked at that one, I must say, definitely.
I started sex coaching early 2016, essentially because that was the point at which Jack and I decided to formalise our separation, and I realised it was totally driven by the practicalities of having to step up to become the main breadwinner for me and the kids. There wasn't going to be a man to rely on anymore. I was no longer part of a team. So up until that point, I'd been the mum and done the staying at home mothering thing, and he'd gone out and done the breadwinning thing.
Poppy, please. We play it.
And then in early 2016, it was like, I have to do both. I recently wrote a submission for a book, and the way I started it was to describe a journey back from bringing the kids back from school. There were 2 infant kids and a baby in the car, and I had to pull the car over onto the side of the road and switch the engine off and take about 10 minutes. 10 minutes in a car with children is quite a long time, to just breathe really deeply, because I knew that I was approaching the wall that I fantasised about driving into, and that I was approaching that wall with 3 children in the car, and I was going to drive into that wall because I didn't want to wake up the next morning.
It's brilliant. Thank you, my darling.
All right, darling. My keys.
So Thomas, you broke someone's ankle. No, not ankle, wrist.
So
I have to pinch myself on a regular basis, and this is going back to the whole appreciation thing about what a very magical place I'm in my relationship with Simon. It's 5 years now in all, and it's been 3 years with just the 2 of us. And I think we're stronger and better and more gorgeous and yummier than we've ever been. I feel totally, totally different in my life. Is it because I'm more open? It's not because I'm more open. I've always been open. It's because I'm happy about being open. Like, for so much of my life, I was told I was too sensitive, I was too emotional, I was too passionate, I was too fiery, I was too this, I was too that. And about 5 years ago, whenever, I decided I loved all of that. I was happy to be too much.
should we have a
Yeah, I'm not
toast?
surprised because of the way
Have
you...
a toast to Mummy.
Oh, do I join in with that?
Yeah, of course you do.
No.
You can toast yourself.
I think we should have a toast to family, to my
Family,
beautiful, yummy family,
Water. Cheers.
to flavourless bolognese and a beautiful family
And spicy.
with
That's
-1
spicy.
person.
I'm sorry, everything is wonderfully fine.